So here is, what is the role of computers in modern society, right? So role of computers in modern society is, that computers have become an integral part of modern society, significantly transforming various sectors such as education, healthcare, business, communication, and governance, right? They have revolutionized, how people's work, interact and access information here, making process, faster and more efficient. So role of computers in different sectors. So what are the roles here in that different sectors here? First is education. Computer facilities, online education here, e-learning platforms and digital classrooms, right? Students can access, virtual libraries like, online courses and AI-based personalized learning tools, right? Here, next is healthcare. Used for medical diagnosis here, patient records and advanced research, right? Here, telemedicine say enables remote, consultations, and AI assist in robotic surgeries, right? Next point is business and economy. Here, e-commerce platform like Amazon, Flipkart operate entirely on computer systems. Banking transaction here, stock markets and digital payment rely on computers and AI-driven analytics, right? So the communication, if I'm talking about this, fourth point is communication, right? Email, social media, and video conferencing have improved, global communication, right? So real-time collaboration possible due to advanced computing technologies, right? Governance and administration. E-governance here, system enhance public service efficiency and digital record management. Online platforms here, support tax filing here, legal documentation and government, right, decision making by using AI and big data analytics. So the conclusion of the point is, computers are essential in modern society. Computers are essential in modern society, making everyday tasks more efficient, accurate, and accessible. With continuous advancement in artificial intelligence, automation, and cloud computing, computers will continue to drive innovation and reshape industries worldwide. So this is all about that. What is the role of computers in modern society nowadays? So yeah. So it's a monsoons, system of India. Right, nature, types, climate change, distribution, synonyms, jet streams, and feasibility, right? So I will start from the introduction, right? The monsoon system of India is a, seasonal wind reversible, phenomenon that plays a crucial role in the country's, climate and agriculture here. It is primarily driven, by temperature differences between the land and ocean here, causing shifts in wind pattern, right? The Indian, monsoon is one of the most significant climatic, events influencing weather, economic, and biodiversity, right? So the word monsoon here originated from Arabic word Muslim, meaning the season referring to the period of winds that brings a heavy, that we call the heavy rainfall to South Asia, right? So here the nature of Indian monsoon, how it could be. So yeah, let's get into it. Seasonal reversal of winds here. Monsoon winds blow from the sea to land in summer, right, wet monsoon, and from land to sea in winter, dry monsoon, right? Always mind it. Next point is influenced by differential heating. The Indian subcontinent heats up faster than surrounding oceans, right, creating low pressure over land and attracting moisture and laden winds. Third point is highly unpredictable and variable, right? Monsoon patterns here fluctuate due to climate change, EI or LA phenomena. Right, and the fourth point is here, strongly linked to agriculture. Nearly 70% of India's rainfall comes from the monsoon here, making it vital for farming, water reservoir, and drinking water supply as well, right? So these are the points which is so crucial for the examination, as per the previous question paper, right? So types of Indian monsoon here, A is based on seasonal variation, as we know the fact of it. So the southwest monsoon, June to September, right? It originates from the Indian Ocean, right? Indian Ocean, bringing heavy rainfall, divided into two branches, right? Okay. So here, Arabian Sea branch here, affects Western Ghats and Central India. Bay of Bengal branch here influences, Eastern and Northern India, right? So here, Northeast monsoon, October to December, right? Northeast monsoon is from October to December, right? Winds blow from land to sea, bringing rainfall, mainly to Tamil Nadu and coastal Andhra Pradesh, right? Based on rainfall distribution here, advancing monsoon here, June to September, heavy rainfall and heavy rains cover most of India, right? So retreating, monsoon here, October to November, right? Gradual withdrawal, of rains from north to south, right? So this is a retreating monsoon, October to November, right? So this is a gradual what? Yeah, it's a gradual what? It's a gradual withdrawal of rainfalls, from north to south, right? So impact of climate change, on Indian monsoon. So what are the impact here that changes the climatic of Indian monsoon, right? Climate of Indian monsoon, right? So irregular monsoon pattern here, increase in extreme weather events like floods and droughts, right? Okay, rising temperature here, higher land and sea temperature, right? Okay, disrupt here monsoon circulation. Changing rainfall distribution here. Some areas receives excess rain, while others face deficits, right? Increased frequency of cyclones, warmer oceans here, leads to more intense, tropical storms, right? So these are the points. Actually, this is so important for the examination, for the previous question, which we want, So here, next point is distribution of monsoon in India. Heavy rainfall area here, Western Ghats and Northeast India here, Assam and Meghalaya, and the Himalayan foothills, receive the highest rainfall, right? So moderate rainfall here areas, Central India, Eastern India, and part of the Deccan Plateau, right? Deccan Plateau. Okay, so low rainfalls area, right? Rajasthan, Gujarat, and interior regions of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu receive the least rainfall, right? Okay, so the next point is, synonyms of monsoon, right? Okay, so here seasonal winds, right? There is a seasonal winds, right? So rain wearing winds, mausim here. Arabic word from season. What is called mausim is the Arabic word. A trade wind reversal, South Asian rainfall system, right? Okay, so the next point is, jet streams and their role in Indian monsoon, right? Jet streams are fast moving air currents, in the upper atmosphere that influence monsoon, activities here. Okay, so western jet stream here, that we call westerly jet, blows over North India in winter, right? So responsible for western disturbance causing here, rainfall in Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu and Kashmir, right? So it weakening, right? It's weakening, I mean to say. Okay, allows the monsoon to advance in summer, right? So eastern jet stream here, that we call easterly jet, develops in summer over South India. Strengthens the southwest monsoon by pushing moist air into the subcontinent, right? So here the next point is feasibility of monsoon utilization, right? Feasibility of monsoon utilization. Rainwater here, rainwater harvesting here essential for storing excess monsoon water, right? So here drought and flood management better forecast to mitigate monsoon extremes. So hydropower generation is here, monsoon fed rivers, supply renewable energy, right? So agriculture adaptation here, use of drought resistant crops for monsoon variability, right? So the next point is disaster preparedness, right? So here strengthening coastal defenses against cyclones and floods, right? So what are the conclusion of the point here? So what it could be the conclusion of the point in that particular question, what you actually want the conclusion. So here are the conclusion, that the Indian monsoon system is a lifeline for the country, affecting agriculture, right, economy and water resources. However, climate change poses new challenges requiring better forecasting, adaptation, and sustainable water management here. Strengthening scientific research and disaster resilience can help India harness the monsoon more effectively. So these are the points of monsoon system of India: the nature, types, climatic change, distribution, synonyms, jet streams, and feasibility. So yeah. So your trickle down theory of economics, right? Concept, elements, and benefits, right? Limitation and criticisms in the context of Indian planning, right here. So the question is, explain the trickle down theory of economics, its major elements, benefits, limitation, and criticisms in the context of Indian planning, right? So I will start from the introduction, right? And you have to take pen and paper with it. You'll go for it, right? So the trickle down theory in economics, right, suggests that policies favoring the rich, large businesses and industries, right, will eventually benefit the poor and lower income group. It is assumed that economic growth at the top will trickle down through the job creation, and higher wages, right, and increased opportunities for all, right? So in context of Indian planning here, this theory influenced economic policies, particularly after the 1991 liberalization. However, its effectiveness in reducing poverty and income inequality remains highly debated, right? So here the first point is major elements of trickle down theory, right? First point is, right, here wealth concentration for growth, right? Policies here support businesses, corporation and wealthy individuals, assuming they drive economic expansion. Invest driven development here encourages private sector here investments are leading infrastructure, right, growth, industrialization and overall progress, right? So job creation here, economics growth at the top is expected to create employment for the lower income population, right? So here fourth point is increased consumer demands, right? Higher earning for businesses owners, right, result in greater production demand and economic activities. The fifth point is indirect benefits to the poor instead of direct welfare program, right? A long-term economics here expansion is expected to uplift the lower classes, right? So if I'm talking about the next point is benefits of trickle down theory, right? So rapid economic growth here encourages here industrialization here and large scale investment, increasing GDP growth. Foreign direct investment, that we call FDI. FDI is what? Foreign direct investment attracts international businesses, leading to capital inflow, right, technology transfer and employment generation, right? So entrepreneurship and innovation, right? Entrepreneurship and innovation here, favorable policy for businesses encourages startups and entrepreneurship and technological advancements, right? So the fourth point is job creation and expanding industries provide employment opportunities for the lower income groups, right? Fifth point is infrastructure development, right? Increased corporate investments here lead to better road parts, ports, I mean to say, that we call the better roads and ports here, urbanizations and digital networks, right? So the next point is limitation, the limitation of trickle down theory. Here widening income inequality, right? Economic benefits remains concentrated at the to widening the rich poor divide. So concentration of wealth here leads to monopolies and economics dominance by a few corporate groups. So slow poverty reduction. So economic benefits here take too long to reach the poor, resulting in persistent poverty, right? And the next point is rural urban divide. Growth is often urban centered, leaving rural population behind. Jobless growth here despite high GDP growth, employment generation here remains low, leading to rising unemployment, right? So these are the points which is so important here, you have to understand and just go through with the pen and paper, right? So the next point is coming up here: criticisms of trickle down theory in Indian context. In Indian context, the criticisms are a failure to reduce poverty effectively. Even after 1991 economic liberalization and income disparity increased. India's top 10% of the population control over 70% of wealth, right? Next point is rural neglect, right? Rural neglect. So economic policies focus on urban centers, right, while rural development remains slow. The agriculture sectors is underfunded despite India being an agrarian economy, right? Unemployment crisis here. Post liberalization India witnessed here jobless growth, GDP increased, but employment opportunity remained stagnant, right? So next point is informal sector neglect. I'm to say, if it sound like neglect, sorry, it's neglect. Neglect. it's totally neglect, right? So it's here the point is that informal sector neglect, right? So the organized sector employs over 80% of India's workforce, but government policies here favor big corporation, right? So regional disparities here, a state like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, benefited from liberalization, while Bihar, Jharkhand and Odisha lagged behind, right? Totally lagged behind here. So these are the point which is so important in that particular question. You have to write it down to just take the more advantage of it then, right? So Indian planning and alternatives to trickle down theory, right? 5 years plan here, 1951 to 2017. Initially here followed a mixed economy approach, but gradually shifted towards trickle down policies post 1991. Inclusive growth model 2000 present here focuses on reducing inequalities through schemes like Manrega, the rural employment guarantee, right? Okay, Digital India, the technology access for all, Skill India here, right? Employment and vocational training, bottom up approach here encourages, right? So microfinance and rural banking, right? So here cooperative farming and self-employment, cooperative farming and self-employment, direct benefit transfer here, right? Because the DBT for faster poverty reduction, right? So what is the conclusion of the point of that particular question? You have to understand the conclusion of the point of the particular question, right? So the trickle down theory played a crucial role in India's economic reforms, but failed to address inequality, rural distress and unemployment effectively. Modern policies now emphasize include growth here, welfare programs and social equality to ensure economics benefits to reach the lower income population, right? So a balanced approach here that combines free market growth with targeted welfare measures is necessary for the sustainable development, right, in India. So these are the point here which is so important of trickle down theory of economics, right? And the concepts, elements, benefits and limitation and the criticisms in the context of Indian planning. So this is all about. So yeah, thank you so much for joining my channel, and this is just great for me. Yeah, and this is the actual initiative for me, and I'm just trying my best for it. So yeah.